Hi, and welcome. If you've got 15 minutes to spare, by the time you're done watching this video, you will know how to add an options menu to a toolbar entity in the latest version of Android 3.6.3. You can see a handful of other videos on this, and none of them are using the toolbar entity. Here's an XML file, and I'm talking about this toolbar. Not any other variant, just toolbar. Okay, this is the latest and greatest, supposedly. And like I said, you're not going to see many videos or any that I could find using this. So here you go. 15 minutes. I spent like 24 hours. I hope this really helps. Okay, so give it an ID, match parent, height. This seems to be the generally accepted way of giving it a height. You have to give it a theme, otherwise it won't appear correctly. Um, Generally, they say that you want to give a theme that is the opposite of what your app theme is, for whatever that's worth. But you have to have a theme. Title, password. Android tells you that giving your title bar a title is not stylish anymore. They say do not do that, but I wanted to see what it looked like, so I did it anyway. What they do want you to do instead is to give your toolbar a logo. Okay, so I don't have a logo, so I just used an Android drawable that is already provided, just to show you what it looks like. And there it is. That's the logo. The logo appears to the right of a navigation menu. I don't have a navigation menu. Okay, so if I wanted to have a navigation menu, I would choose the navigation icon and give it a drawable. There, okay, so I just chose a drawable. It's a PNG file for delete the red X, but there you can see it. It's there. You could give it any icon you want to, but there's the drawable that I gave it, and then you would want to give it a content description. And here, give it some string that describes what the thing is. Okay, now I don't want any of that, so I'm going to delete it. I'm happy at this point without a navigation menu. And that's not what this video is about anyways. It's about putting the three vertical dots over here. Okay, so there's my toolbar. All right, now let's go back to our activity class and let's check the imports. And make sure that your toolbar import looks like this and not some other variant of toolbar. Okay, this needs to be what you see here. All right, great. Now, check your class declaration. If your class declaration happens to look like this, app compat activity. If it looks like this, that's not going to work. You can't have that. Oops. Deleting things that I don't mean to be deleting. Okay. It had your class, your activity class has to extend activity and not app compat or something else. Well, I don't know, maybe something else, but definitely not app compat. That will not work. Okay. Now in your private variables, if you need to know what your toolbar is, you can add your toolbar variable here if you want. I don't actually need to know, so I make it, here we are in the protected void on create method. Okay, the usual. This is, nothing new by now, I hope. Do the usual toolbar declaration, find view by toolbar. So, okay, we've got our toolbar. Now you have to call this set action bar toolbar. All right, you got to do that. If you don't do that, it won't work. All right, so our toolbar is now recognized. Now we need a menu. Menu. That would be a resource, right? And you have a menu directory under your application resource directory? What? No? Neither did I. That's just so typical. How can that be? All right, well, to fix it, right-click on your res folder, click on New, and click on Android Resource Directory. Give it a name, whatever name you like. Choose a value. And I don't know anything about what's in here. I did not pick anything in here. I just ignored it. And then I click on OK. And once you do that, you will see this right here, this menu. I'm going to click on Cancel because obviously I already have one. All right, so then when you're building your menu, click on Menu, right-click on Menu, and then select Menu Resource File. And give your menu resource file a name, whatever name you like. And then you'll have a file. There it is. Okay, so let's check out what mine looks like. All right, here we have our menu. And I apologize for that. I got distracted, and so I paused the recording, and now I'm back. So we're looking at the XML file for the menu, which is by far the easiest way to create a menu. Separates it from the application code, and it's so much easier to visualize. As you can see by looking over here, we can see that we've got something that looks like what we want. We've got the 3 dots and a menu, and here are the items. Now you can add extra attributes here if you want to, but if it ever stops looking like this, then you've broken it. There's no use adding an icon file. The menu that drops down from an option menu in the toolbar cannot have icons. The Android squad determined that this is the way it needed to be, and so that's the way it is. You can add an icon, but it won't show up. It will show up over here, I'll show you, but it will not show up over there. Okay, so we've got our icon. There it is. But it's not over here. There's no point. So let me just repeat. You can add extra attributes here if you must. Oh, checkable needs to be false. So set checkable to be false. Enabled is whatever. But if it stops looking like this, then you know that you've broken it. So make sure that your results look like this. And oh, by the way, if you don't happen to know the keyboard shortcut for switching views, it's Alt plus Shift, and then the left control, the left arrow. The left arrow switches between these views. Code only. This is the UI development screen. I never really use this. Well, sometimes, but rarely. And the dual version of the UI and code. So that's Alt, Shift, left arrow key. All right, so I hope that helps. But this is the XML for a, I'm not even using any of the app variables or app attributes. So I'm just going to delete this right in front of you just to show you. Okay, now I need to cap off my menu. No, that's not right. There we go. Okay, sorry. All right, so that's the menu. Now, we need to stuff this menu into the toolbar, and to do that, we have to go back to our activity class. And we need to override this function. On Prepare Options menu, with this coming in. Call your super first. Now, this method on Prepare gets called every time you open up the menu. So you don't want to be stuffing your menu into the toolbar every single time. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on adding and adding and adding, and you're going to have a menu that is really long with the same things repeated over and over. So you need some way of telling yourself whether you've done this or not. For me, it's pretty obvious. I've got my Boolean B menu initialized variable, and I'm checking that to see if I've done this or not. Now, in this method, this is your opportunity to get the menu. So here you can see I'm assigning the menu that's passed in to my private member variable. All right, so that I can use it later on. This is what you want to do. Now, to put your menu into this menu here, this is how you do it. Get menu inflator, inflate. Now, this is very interesting. I'm sure you're used to using R dot by now. Now use menu, not string or ID or any other thing. Use menu. And at this point, it's really interesting. It's really cool because it searches for the files that you've put in your menu directory. And here you can see is the name of the file that I created in my menu directory that you were just looking at a moment ago. That's the name of the file. So it's the menu directory and then the name of the file. Okay? Simple, simple, simple. And then, of course, the menu that you're inflating into. That gets the job done. That sticks your menu into the menu object that has the 3 vertical dots. And since we've saved menu into our private member variable, we can use it later, which you can use it now in this if you want to monkey around with it before the thing gets shown. Or I have a private function here, private function, and it's right here, toggle menu item B. And here you can see I'm using my private member variable, and I'm using find item with the actual ID. Now this time we're using the ID because that's what it is. It's an ID that I gave to one of the menu items. In this case, I gave the edit item ID. Find item allows you to use the ID of the actual menu item. There's another method called get item. Get item accesses the menu in terms of an array index, starting from 0, obviously. So you can use get item, but that uses array indexes. Find item uses the ID of the item. And then you can run your code. Oh, see here, I used the wrong thing. I've been working on this for hours and hours and hours. So pardon me if this menu find item, in this case I already did it, so delete. Okay, There, we've got it.